Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're starting our descent into Meander. Local time is 7 p.m. Weather is 72 and sunny, so we expect a smooth and comfortable landing. Please be sure to fasten your seatbelts and ensure seat backs and tray tables are in their upright and locked positions. Now is a good time to mention that even though bags fly free, it does cost to get them off the plane, so have your credit cards ready as you disembark. We value your money above all else, and we look forward to welcoming you and your money back on board soon. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight as we prepare for a smooth arrival into Meander.
I'm already regretting this intro, but I don't know. I had the idea, and I'll probably keep it as is the tone of this season. Today's an interesting episode because this is the episode that broke me, and I'll get into that quite a bit or a fair amount. I don't know. I don't want to drag the mood down on this build, but this is what I've been working on. This island over here, this island over here is the one with all the trenches. I think someone said in the comments it was a mine. I'm not sure what the deal is. Either way, it was kind of a mess. I used the airport tool to flatten it pretty quickly. The island itself, except for the mountains on the sides, giving us this spot for the Metropolitan Airport, which is part of the Sunset Harbor DLC. I still have yet to touch the actual airports DLC, and I don't think I want to commit more space than this to an airport, so I'm totally fine with this, especially based on how broken this game still is. Again, I'm going to get into that. So what's the idea here? Put a bunch of the tourist attractions all in one spot. Doesn't even touch the traffic on the city, in fact. And the only way to get here from the city is that ferry that you see coming to and from to this. That's actually the boat museum I was paused in front of. But that gets people from Meander here. Everybody from outside can travel in via airplane. We've also got a small little shopping district over here. And this needs the support of that cargo harbor over there. Otherwise, it can't get goods. There's no goods produced on the island. So it's the only way to get them here. Anyways, let's say you come in via the city and you want to take the monorail in, or you arrive via the airplane. In any event, you'll probably find yourself over here where a lot of people are spilling in. These are our two parks, Columbia Park Zoo and Wonder World. So let's get down here on foot and right here. Okay. So I don't know if I get into the how it broke me part first, or let's talk about what I did. I upgraded the zoo and the amusement park to level 5 so we could have all the objects. I dropped them all in, and I did a lot of decorating, a lot of detailing. One thing you'll notice here, or I mean, you'll certainly notice if I make it a point to show it. Outside, I think this works. It's a standard wall outside the property. Nothing too fancy. But inside, we want it to feel very much like nature. And I've added this long grass from the Mr. Mason pack along with these pink bushes. Same thing, Mr. Mason's CCP. And it really adds this nice effect of kind of feeling like you're more in nature. Even though there's kids and dogs barking in the background constantly. Which doesn't make sense. I mean, the kids part, yes. You shouldn't have dogs at the zoo, probably. But yeah, I think this creates a nice natural barrier. It makes it feel like you're in a wild space rather than in a zoo. One complaint I have about scalability, or not scalability, the scale of things that are built. Scalability is a different problem. Is look at your eye height here with the handrail. Like this is a handrail. This shouldn't be the height of an average adult's eyes. Like it kind of defeats the purpose of being able to see into the exhibits. So kind of wish they would change that, but it's a little late in the game for that. We've got our other entrance over here on the side. Hooks back into the park. It all flows very naturally. I've been in my fair share of amusement parks, and you want an easy way to get from A to B, but you also want to steer people around. Not unlike retail shopping or your grocery store. There's a natural flow that most people follow, and the ones that go against it, shame on you. Tired of bumping into your carts around corners because you decided to go the opposite direction in the store and start with the bread and milk. No, it doesn't work that way. You leave that for the milk spoils and the bread is soft. You put it on top. There's a reason it's at the end of the store. Okay, rant over. You're shopping wrong. But this is the zoo. This is the bird enclosure. It's actually kind of nice in person. Those birds are way too big for a space that small, though. Those poor things. Oh my god. That's so sad. Let's not think about that, though. Let's head on over to Chirpy Land, aka Wonderland. Walk in here and see how I've used some of those same design concepts, but it's a little less wild here. Like it's wild kind of off property in the real back lot, and things are a little bit cleaner here in terms of how the bushes are leveraged. I say that, but also I filled that back patch in. But this is, I think, a pretty good look and feel. You know, maybe the big wheel wouldn't be right there at the front, but you know, what are you gonna do? We got a lot of stuff to cram in. You can see the roller coaster way in the back. There's some other buildings too that I've incorporated here. This is the panda enclosure. I don't know what if this is a DLC specific. It's a content creator pack specific, I think, in the top right there. Okay, so you know, okay, great. We've got these things. They're pretty well detailed. How they look from above is very different. I kept the trees off the airport property, which definitely makes sense. You don't want any trees, massive buildings. There is a giant, I mean, this Millennium Wheel or whatever it is, pretty big. That's unique, not an amusement park object. But at least here, like the big building is kind of off to the side by the mountain. I think it works, though it is a little close over here. Let's talk about that too, because we haven't talked about the rest of the island over this way, and then I'll get into what broke so bad. What's still so broken. Over here we've got a ton of fun stuff. So we've got the driving range, Theater of Wonders. This is the aquarium and the expo center. The science center is over there on the other side of the island. What are they complaining about over there? Garbage. That happens from time to time over there. They're way out on the edge of the grid. Over here we've got the casino, the luxury hotel, the posh mall, Grand Mall. Grand Mall's big, huh? I feel like it should be oriented the other way too. Okay, so what's over here? Well, we've got this little police and fire station this way. We've got the Fantastic Fountain. Sometimes I like to quiz myself and then pop into it afterwards. I don't know if you noticed. Let's walk around on foot here for a minute. That bush just appeared out of nowhere. So we've got the casino, we've got the hotel. Those were moved from the last episode. I wanted to really kind of put things out here on its own island. These things that draw a lot of tourists. Is this guy showing his butt to the little girl on the other side of the bush? Dude, you're gonna get... What are you doing in there? You're gonna get arrested for... This is not this... It's not this kind of game. Get out of here, dude. What are you doing? Okay, sorry, that's weird. So instead of that, let's talk about what broke so badly. So I'm in here, and I'm trying to upgrade both of these parks. So this is the Park Life Zoo and Amusement Park. If you don't know, you put down a gate, you get a couple basic rides. As people come, you increase your visitor count, and as you decorate more with shops and rides and different things, you get entertainment. So to get levels to unlock more things, you need a certain number of visitors and a certain number, a certain amount of entertainment. Now, if you know the game really well, you'll know that the last level 5 is unlocked when you get to 10,000 visitors. So the fact that I have 3,800 visitors should be cause for questions. And basically what happens is anytime you do any kind of a load, save the game, autosave, reload, quick resume, power off your Xbox, power it back on, it loses your progress and it starts back at 0 visitors. Even though you've got, say, all the level 4 stuff unlocked. Super frustrating. I burned about, I'm going to say 15 to 16 hours of gameplay building what you see on screen here. At this stage in the game, you know, this close to 2, this late in the life cycle, those kind of bugs shouldn't be a thing. You know, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Although they fixed a major save game bug, which was preventing me from playing this for a while, this game is still very much broken. and not ready. And I don't know that it's going to be finished with it is August 4th when I'm recording this. We've got about 2 months till City Skylines 2. The timing of this game at all, its announcement and release, was questionable at best. It was thrown out the door to get in front of the CS2 announcement, because why would you invest into it after the fact? But either way, that aside, here we are this late in the life cycle. They finally fixed that save game bug, but they don't have all the DLC here. We don't have the Brooklyn and Queens and Industrial Evolution. We don't have that last round of DLC here. It's coming late summer, but like, it's August. It is late summer. You know, September is fall, autumn, whatever you call it, wherever you are. It's not done. Like, let's when's it gonna be done? When's it gonna not be broken? Like, it's not even feature complete. I don't think it will ever not be broken, unfortunately. I think we've just got some of these issues that they're just built into the game at this point. But it's frustrating because it when stuff like that happens, it makes me think. It doesn't make me think. It cements my belief that this isn't play tested well, that the people that play test it don't actually play cities. They maybe just play test the game, see if some basic things work, don't understand the ramifications of the deeper, longer term things that you're doing in a city, like actually unlocking the content that you paid for and finding out if that stuff's broken. And it's very much broken in the case of Park Life on Remastered. So, or at least on Xbox. Tell me if your experience is different on PlayStation. But burning 16 hours on that, I've come back to this a lot, and while I was, you know, multiple times upgrading the zoo or the amusement park because of the crashes, disconnects, and lost progress, I started, you know, building up the rest of the island, and I kind of like where it's at. It's not finished, but I don't know that it's going to be finished if I have to burn this kind of time for the game to be broken and buggy. Let me take you on a little tour around of what's been happening. So this intersection has calmed down quite a bit. I'm going to go 3 times speed. It's not perfect, but we've provided some extra ways for people to get around the city. So let's say we're way over here. We're coming from off map. What do we have access to? Well, we can go back off map for whatever reason. Is anybody actually turning that way? So this is traffic coming from off map, heading off map. That's just driving through. They're not helping us at all. Over here, we've got a little service area that is garbage for these businesses. What is this? Oh, this is the air aviation field. Whatever. It's over here. We've got extra water treatment and it's ready to turn on when we need. And down this way, they're a little slow on garbage service. I think I mentioned that before. We've got cargo, shipping, train, and we've got some helipad locations for what? Health, fire, and police. They're way off on the edge of the map, though. They're not essential over there. It's kind of stupid, if anything. But that traffic comes into the main part of Meander, which is over here. And that does its first split. A lot of them are going to head to the right, especially the trucking traffic. Residents are going to tend to head in this way. You could also head out that way as well. But you can see all of it's moving pretty decently, even though it's not. It's been slightly modified, and it was pretty bad at some points throughout the build. It's definitely a little bit better now. Things have settled down. We've got the main part of our city, Palaven Park. We've got Emerson College, which we saw in the last episode. This had a massive fire, actually, and survived. You can see some of it still growing back. I might have some footage of that I'll throw up if I do. So what happened here, though? This used to be an industrial area. We scrapped that and moved it to a much smaller pocket off towards the other side. Over here, we've got a little service area and some offices crammed in. This is nuclear power ×2, and then police and fire, recycling, and the ultimate recycling plant, which looks the part, but glitches out a lot. This is actually the most trucks I've ever seen out at one time. So that's good, I guess. 9 of 100 trucks. The sports area here. I don't know if I've covered this on a previous one, but I want to mention there is a ton of traffic that leaves this field, especially car traffic. The nice thing is, though, because I have this one-way loop around the area, and then I have got this little turnaround for the police and fire, these intersections being so close together means that the traffic naturally separates itself as it's leaving. So there's a body. watch what happens. This is what every car does when it leaves the stadium. So it heads, well, actually they head down the other end of the street. Wow, they disregard all traffic. Okay, never mind. They don't do that. They stop here to wait for this intersection to be cleared to go here. So they naturally kind of create this separation. So even though there's a ton of traffic pouring out, it pauses for, you know, a good second or two before the next car crosses this intersection. And it means that although there's a steady stream for quite a while, it actually doesn't cause traffic that's that bad. This really simple and stupid intersection right here, I'll give you a minute to digest on the screen, actually does a really good job. And it's super basic. I've got a 4-lane road, highways crossing over. Those highways are just 3-lane roads that are zonable. And I can exit the highway and I can get on. And this last segment is possible with mass transit because I've got that 2-way highway. You could use a 2-way road. Cars are going to slow down, but you could, you know, achieve the same physical layout at least, even without mass transit. I like that one though. And then there's one other thing over here that we have not seen yet. I don't think I've shown this on a video. Geez, apologies if I do, if I'm repeating myself that badly. We can just fly this one. This is fine. So this is our memorial park. Back in, I believe, episode 6, I tried to empty 2 dumps with the collapse tool. Unfortunately, I did it with the meteor tool set to 10. We lost a lot of our industry area and a fair number of people. I don't think as many people as are listed here on the memorial, but those are all the people that were traumatized by it. So we've got, what is this? A parks and plazas and promenades object. It's a pedestrian area. We've got the natural disasters monument. It says right in front. And then this one's the meteorite park. The lungs of the city, Eden Project, and the Ziggurat Garden. And then tucked in behind it is the Central Park object. This is really underutilized though. There's no reason for people to come over here. I need better connectivity and just better ways to get to it. Right now it's like people come here and you know, they stop at this front thing and then they leave. But anyways, that is our memorial park. Rip to those we lost trying to get rid of garbage. This road, this highway, right, comes down through here. There's another really interesting, simple, sloppy, but efficient exit here. It was backed up a little bit when I first created it, and that's totally understandable. But you can see here we've got the highway coming in. It's a 3-lane that actually becomes 2 lanes. So you've got the choice in the right 2 lanes to go right, or the left 2 lanes to go straight. Breaks up traffic pretty well. And then if you want to go left or right, you do have a specific lane you should be in here. This all comes down to a 4-lane road. So it actually gives cars an ability to do a cheeky little turnaround there if they want to, but they generally don't. I don't believe so. So this is really simple. You know, it's a 12-unit drop and then hook the roads in, but it does the trick. If you're breaking up your traffic elsewhere otherwise, like if you're giving people multiple routes, like I can get off the highway here, I can get off the highway down this way. There is this other effective highway that, you know, brings traffic past the memorial and into the college district. So, you know, hey, it's not perfect, but it's certainly feeling more like a city, more like this space is actually lived in. Things that I want to still go back and finish. I'd like to decorate this beach. I'd like to make this a little smaller and fit better. Use up some of this space here that needs to be filled. We need to plant some trees over here and kind of extend this as a park. And then over this way, I built a road, and I wouldn't mind, you know, doing some small neighborhoods here and there. I've got a placeholder road there. This curves around and has a ferry stop for getting over to the entertainment island. And then I've started to build some small neighborhoods in here. This road needs to be changed up here at the top of this. I've also, I don't know if I showed any of this officially, but I've started using some of these spaces for parks, and it attracts some people. It's not the busiest. I'm pretty sure in a lost episode I ranted on this, but does anybody have I complained about this before? A couple things here that I'd like to take take issue with. Number one, if you're a chess player, like let's talk about this for a second. So they're obviously playing, you know, this side is white and then this side is black, unless they're playing some kind of impossible chess rules. So anyways, first of all, they keep moving pieces back and forth. So this one's moving either a queen or a rook because it's moving straight. This one's moving a knight. But the board is crooked. The board should be rotated 90 degrees. The bottom right square to either player, this diagonal should be light colored. So they've got the board set up wrong, number one. Number two, these two pieces right here are obviously taller. So I guess that's our king and our queen. I'll come from over here on the stairs. Like you can see, they're a little taller than the other pieces. But, I mean, I guess some of these other ones are a little taller than the pawns. Like, they're either a pawn, a slightly taller pawn, or one of these rounded pieces at the end. So there's three different pieces, technically. You know, it's not exactly... It's frustrating. So I don't know who it was. I'm trying to remember who it was, but there was another creator that mentioned this in the city's Discord, and I was like, oh my god, thank God I'm not the only one. I want to say it was B. Squigglehausen, but I could be wrong. But somebody else picked up on that, and I was happy to be able to vent. It was a while back though. Apologies, I forget. But yeah, that should be rotated 90 degrees, please. Of all the fixes we could get, I would actually appreciate seeing that in the hotfix list. As ridiculous as it is. So I started using these spaces as little parks. Gotta probably fill in something here. You know, but I wanted to leverage that space a little bit, not make it look, you know, overgrown. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways that the different parts of the build are kind of tied together. Things don't have to be perfect. We have these really awkward right-hand turns getting off the road. Let's see somebody take one of these. Come on. Yeah, there you go. So, like, you know, is that awkward? Absolutely. Does it work? Does it create this really simple intersection around this 3-lane one-way approach to connect people from either side in either direction? You know, it works. These are the kind of things that we have to do without mods. So, and then Kingsport. I never really got to finish Kingsport. I would like to, but at this point, I'm not sure that I'm not sure 100% sure that I will, because I burned so much freaking time. Literally 16 hours trying to upgrade 2 parks, a zoo and an amusement park. It really sucked the wind out of my sails. And for it to be so broken at this stage in the game, like maybe it's time to put Remastered down for a little bit. Maybe we'll do a live stream. Maybe we'll come back to it that way. I don't want to just, you know, leave it on a sour note, but I need a little break from this right now. It's really unfortunate that Remastered is even a thing, to be honest. Like, the timing of it was very much, you know, like I don't know how you couldn't. I can only assume, right? I don't have, like, I have some insights being a partner creator, but I don't know the business side. But why would you release Remastered in the state that it was at the time that you did, other than to get out in front of CS2? Let's be honest. So it's unfortunate. It was pushed out the door. There is way too much of this in gaming. I'm really sad to see it happening to a franchise that I closely work with. And I hope it is not a trend that we see continue. We will find out soon enough with Cities 2 coming October 24th. I'm assuming I'll get some kind of access ahead of release. On PC, that's always possible. On Xbox, it's a lot more difficult. But I am really interested to see... I'm super excited for all the improvements that are in the game. I'm concerned to see how they're implemented in console, because the experience with CS1, I think it started great. I think it started to fall apart at the seams the more and more was bolted onto it. And Remastered just still isn't finished with just a couple months left, which is crazy to say out loud. Like, this game isn't feature complete. It doesn't have all the DLC yet. It's got some crazy bugs that make me not want to play it. And this is after fixing the crazy bugs where it would just stop saving your game once you made it to a size of a city about 9 tiles. So, like, as soon as you take advantage of the remastered part, the 25 tiles, it would break, and that's ridiculous. That's the reason people are playing this upgraded version. And again, just something that obviously wasn't tested. Speaking about 25 tiles, now that the information is out about how big the map is, or I mean, honestly, at this point, it's been a few weeks, but again, I'm recording these in advance. We now know that the map for Cities 2, the buildable space at least, is larger than 25 tiles, but not as large as 81 tiles when it comes to CS1 space. So plenty of room to flex, but not the full 81 tile space. I should find the numbers, or the better yet the graphic. It'd probably be a good time to show a graphic supporting this. This one's actually from City Planner Plays, who shared this on the creator Discord, and kind of shows the comparatives of the space of the three, well, I guess more than three, the different size areas in comparison to what you may know about the game already. So there's in the center, a CS1 tile is actually 9 of the new tiles. We've got the CS9 tile, which is the default in yellow. That's the original space we had in unmodded cities. 25 tiles, if you're playing with the 25 tiles mod or remastered. And then the CS2 playable area in purple. The red zone on the outer edge of that is the actual full area, not the playable area, but the full area of the map. And then the outer square is the 81 tile mod on CS1. So we've got a ton of space. We've got a lot more space to play with than the default 9 tile. We've got even a reasonable amount of space above the 25 tile, which is still decent. But if we're going to get all the way out to the edge of that map, it's going to be a mod thing again. That's okay, though. I think we're going to have lots of room to flex our city building prowess, and excited to see what people come up with. If you are along for the ride, make sure to subscribe for more, and stay tuned. We'll be sharing what news we can when we can share it. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Did I already say? I already said subscribe. I'm doing this out of order. Whatever order I do it in, you know the drill. Appreciate you. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for enjoying Meander. I will probably be back with a live stream version of it at this point. I don't want to, I don't want to just stop it, but I also don't want to play such a broken game. The remaining things that I will build probably won't be as frustrating as the process that I went through to get the things done for today's episode. But it sucked the wind out of my sails, as they say. And yeah, we'll pick back up. I still need to go back and do some of the new DLC, because I've been playing Remastered since that fix happened around the same time as the drop of the last DLC. Haven't checked any of that stuff out, but honestly, adding in some new themes into a 9-tile map on console isn't that exciting. So stay tuned for lots of other things that are happening, especially in the month of September. We've got Starfield coming on September 6th. Middle of the month, I believe, we've got Payday 3. There's some other things that are coming out. October has some good ones too. There's a new Mario game. There is something else that drops. Oh, Spider-Man 2 right before Cities. So I'm going to be busy, and I'm going to bring you some of that every week on the channel. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, come back, and check out the channel. I will see you again on the next one, whatever that may be. Probably not Meander for a little bit, or maybe at all. I don't know. It depends on the timing of things. But the remaster's still broken, and that's unfortunate. But regardless of how well the game works or not, I will be here to bring you more news, developments on the city side, all those other games I mentioned, and more. See you on the next one. Until then, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.